So, introduction to deguard. My name is Filip Lewiński. I'm a junior firmware engineer at 3M Dev. The agenda I have prepared for today is what is Intel BootGuard, with a live demonstration of BootGuard running on a machine that will be the Lenovo T480, already aforementioned on the chat as I can see. We're going to talk about what does it mean for coreboot, what is deguard, and how can we use it to bypass Intel BootGuard. And the second demo will be a deguarded T480 running coreboot already. And then we're gonna move on to the discussion. So what is Intel BootGuard? Intel BootGuard is a security feature that ensures only trusted firmware can run when a computer starts. It involves the OEM's public key and BootGuard policy being fused into the platform. And fused means it's written in the Intel's field programmable fuses, which are literal fuses that get blown, and then that means they cannot be physically overwritten ever. And the part of the firmware that gets verified by BootGuard is the initial boot block. It's signed by the manufacturer and gets checked, and then the chain of trust propagates from there to further components. The Intel management makes sure that the CPU checks this OEM signature before execution, and the feature ships with generation 4 of Intel CPUs onwards, which is the Haswell architecture. And here I have a Lenovo T480 with Intel BootGuard. The way to check if you have BootGuard without breaking your platform is you can probe the model-specific register aux13A, and basically any non-zero output from there means that you have BootGuard enabled, and you cannot flash any other firmware onto the platform. So please give me a minute right now so I can prepare the platform for the second demo, which will be running the deguarded coreboot. Okay, so we're on track. I hope my Spy Flash programmer will cooperate with me tonight. So what does it mean for coreboot? In theory, Intel BootGuard makes coreboot development impossible on a given platform. This is why coreboot has largely revolved around pre-Haswell boards so far. But in practice, there have been already a few exceptions, which was one, you can buy unfused platforms from hardware vendors in bulk. And that is what Nova Custom has been doing, and Protectly, to deliver coreboot supported platforms on fairly recent hardware. And the second option is that some large OEMs choose not to or fail to fuse their platforms. For that, you have the Felix Singer's BootGuard status repository, where you have all the platforms that have been found to not have BootGuard enabled listed. And an example of a port of a coreboot port that is leveraging this opportunity is the ThinkCenter M700/M900 Tiny. And the third theoretical possibility would be to use leaked Intel BootGuard OEM keys to sign a coreboot binary as if it were the vendor's binary. That is popular in the WinRAID and CSDN bias modding communities, but not so much in coreboot. I don't think that anybody has developed a port using this possibility or admitted to it, at least. Yeah, so enter deguard. Deguard is a tool written by Mate Kukri of Canonical that bypasses Intel BootGuard on Skylake, Kaby Lake, and some Coffee Lake platforms. What it does is exploit the CVE 2017-5705 and vulnerable ME11 series firmware. It involves downgrading the ME firmware via an external SPI flash override, which is what I'm doing right now on the T480. It modifies BootGuard fuses, the field programmable fuses, the data stored in them, after it has been loaded into SRAM, where they can be modified, allowing the execution of unsigned firmware. And it works out of the box on the Lenovo T480 and Dell Optiplex 3050. It can be used to bypass BootGuard on other ME11 series platforms using a provided script to generate the required metadata. There's your platform's specific management engine firmware settings. And yeah, the T480 and T480S have already been ported to coreboot, and as well the Dell Optiplex 3050. The Dell has already been merged into upstream coreboot. The T480 is still a work in progress as of now. I'm assuming this because of problems with the proprietary embedded controller. So how can we use deguard is you have to read the SPI flash of your platform. You have to extract your platform specific management engine firmware settings with a provided generate delta pi script, or if you're lucky, you can use already contributed settings if your board is supported. That is, it's the T480 or the 3050 as of now. You obtain a donor management engine 1160 image. You patch the donor image with your settings, your platform specific ME configuration, and with the fake FPFs, which are pretty much zeroed out as far as I know, with another provided script within the deguard repository, the final image pi script. And when you get the this modified patched management engine firmware image, you pack it back into your entire flash image containing the BIOS and the management engine and IFD using IFD tool preferably, and then you can flash it back onto the platform. And yeah, that's what is right now going on the T480. Is being verified right now, and yeah, you can use it packing the deguarded ME image with the stock BIOS. It will boot just fine. It will just you will be able to see that it's deguarded by probing the model specific register, and by the management engine firmware version not showing up in your setup menu. At least that's what's happening on the ThinkPad I've seen so far. And well, when you have something that boots, you can open up a pull request, adding your platform's management settings. And yeah, the other way you can do it is you can just use the deguarded management engine image to build coreboot with it. And there have been 2 issues so far suggesting that the generate delta script has trouble handling different platforms due to hard-coded offsets and being tailored for the T480. So if your platform is much different, or maybe it uses a different management engine firmware version within the supported 11 series, you might have some problems. You might have to fix some hard-coded offsets. That's happened so far on the P460S ThinkPad and on the Optiplex 5050. And what I can see now is that the flashing operation has succeeded. And we can move to our second demo, which is running the deguarded C480 with coreboot. Okay, it usually takes a second to boot. Let's wait. Okay. And yep, we have the coreboot logo on the previously deguarded T480. We have Ubuntu booting, and we can in a second probe the MSR register to see if it has changed to 0. I'll do it in a second. Yep, we have the read MSR returns 0. I hope you can see this. I don't know how well it looks on the camera, but well, it's changed to 0. Okay, and I guess we can move on to the discussion.